I woke up while nature was sound asleep, so I could marvel at its kingdom. I strolled through its lush gardens and saw every little wonder up close. Here, you can dance with giants, discover a feast for the eyes, and a feast for the appetite. Walls that hold heroes' stories told me of their bravery, while sacred places blessed my journey. I roamed places that stood the test of time, and others that were there since the beginning. I woke up
Every day, I wake up to a feast. Where I can sink my teeth into history. Or shock my taste buds with something new. It's here I learned the color of sweetness, expanded my pantry, and my appetite. Every next bite only leaves you hungry for more. Every day, I wake up.
I just woke up from the time of my life. It started with a major throwback. Then I got to meet the big shots. I found a sweet spot between cultures and hung out with the artsy crowd. I even picked up a few things along the way. After that, things kicked into overdrive. It started with a whirlwind through the streets, and unforgettable eats, a celebration of flavor in every bite, and an epic youth party at every turn. The best thing about it here, the good times are never over.
Yay! Mabuhay! You're now boarding Gpstv. I'm Aya Fernandez, your online travel buddy. So again, join me guys as we navigate through your favorite destinations and of course, making sure to hashtag go safe and go travel. Hashtag go safe, go travel. Are you guys bored in a house, bored in a house, bored? Fret not. Kasi ngayon, ang episode natin ay fun-filled with some millennial travel buddies who have come a long way from the comfort of their own homes. I'm really glad to introduce them to you guys. And gaya nyo, ako ay sobrang excited na rin mag-travel. To be honest, after nung first few episodes natin, gustong-gusto ko na rin mag-travel, lalo na nung alam ko na yung mga dapat kong dalhin at gawin. Pero before that, of course, why don't we get to know more first about the things we have to prepare for, and so that we will be properly guided before we take into the plunge, diba? And it would be more awesome if it will come mismo sa mga millennials, diba? We're coming from different perspectives here in GPS TV, and minsan kailangan mo talaga muna alamin yung papasukin mo bago ka mag-commit. Bago ka mag-commit, bumiyahe. Yan, di ba? Traveling po yung pinag-uusapan natin dito. Anyway, mga millennials, yung mga millennials talaga, sinasabi nila na may pagka-spontaneous daw, di ba? Kasi, I bet, right now, our guests cannot deny this fact. And ang dami natin ngayon, iba-iba ang background ng ating mga travel buddies for today. Kaya naman, sigurado ako that this is going to be so much exciting and different from the rest of our episodes. So let's start with the ladies. We have our first guest. We have a social media consultant, and she is a coffee hunter. She is no other than Miss Tin Advincula.
Hi everyone. Hi, Aya.
Hello, Miss Tin. Tin, kindly explain ano yung coffee hunter para lang alam na nila yung i-expect nila from you. Interesting nun eh.
Okay, yeah, so coffee hunter is actually a play on words, cafe and office. So I work from anywhere kasi. So as a social media consultant, I can parang just bring my laptop and work there. Although ngayon, syempre hindi tayo makapag-coffees. So yun, in my social media accounts, I just post all the coffees to help my kapwa freelancers and just like anyone who's like even med students who study sa cafes, ganon. Kung may Wi-Fi, may socket, so yun, you can find my account there.
That's so cool. So guys, kung sa tingin nyo, merong bucket list ng mga coffee places, feeling ko si Tin, napuntahan niya na lahat yan. Anyway, our next guest, she's a flight attendant from the Philippine Airlines boarding with us right now, Miss Vinny Camille D. Cuanco Gostillo.
Hi, good afternoon, Aya.
Hello, Vinny. Yay, we're boarding with us with the legit flight attendant, diba? Hindi tayo nagpapanggap dito. Anyway, thank you for being here. Next, our next guest, we have a travel vlogger, host, and video producer. She's no other than Miss Erica Rojas.
Hey, hi, Aya. Hi, everyone.
Hello. Next guest, syempre, hindi rin magpapahuli ang ating mga hands-on guests. Diba? We have a blogger from escapemanila.com, Mr. Glenn Nomad.
Hi, Aya. Hi, everyone. Maayong buntag, maayong adlaw.
Yeah, maayong adlaw sa iyo, sa imo. Yan, si Glenn ay from Davao. Diba? Nakakaingit. Yan. Next, we have, last but not the least, we have a lifestyle television host. Ito, na-miss ko to. Napapanood ko na lang to sa shopping, ganyan. Miss ko na siya. No other than Cholo de la Cruz!
Hello everyone. Hi, Aya. Na-miss din kita. Long time no see.
Yes, diba? It's so nice to meet everyone here via Zoom. Tamang tutok lang para sa ating viewers ngayon, tamang tutok lang sa online para sa mga latest trends and updates kung saan ba yung pwedeng lakwatsa, saan ka pwede mag-travel with your friends, and of course, dito lang sa ating GPS TV on Facebook and YouTube to know the right guidelines and safety protocols coming from different perspectives, from the authorities, from business establishments, and ngayon naman from our and fellow travelers na mga millennials. So at this point, I want to ask my online travel buddies kung mga few things about their experiences. For my first question sa inyong lahat, anyone can answer. What brought you out to the wonder? What brought the wanderlust in you? Like, how did you start your love for traveling? Yan. Nakakakilig na mga sagot yung usual dyan. Kaya excited ako. So anyone can start.
Well, I can share. I started traveling at a very young age. I started traveling when I was 7, but it was my parents who introduced me to it. And it wasn't until I graduated from college and got my first job of sorts when I started realizing, oh my God, it's a big world out there. I had the opportunity to direct, produce, and film for a travel show for a TV network. And so that was when I fully realized that, I want to create content, but then I also want to travel. And yeah, so it's been that way ever since.
So nag-start siya sa family, then sa work, then combined. Cool! How about you, Glenn? Saan nanggaling yung wanderlust in you?
Well, basically, nag-start lang siya when I went for a backpacking trip in Northern Luzon. So parang there I realized na, oh, this is actually cool. Seeing places, meeting people. And then after that, I started doing my blog already, and then writing content about places in the Philippines or any other places that I've been to. Tapos yun, after that, I made a big project, like traveling the Philippines in 50 days without taking a plane. So just taking my
Wow.
bus and Roro. So it
Wow.
was one of the biggest, I think, highlight of my traveling life in the Philippines. Non-stop traveling for 15 days from Davao. So I went from Davao to Apari in Cagayan, and then
Oo.
to Pagudpud on the other side, and then back to Romblon and back here in Mindanao, all in 50 days.
OMG, mag-isa ka?
Yes, solo.
Wow! Sige, mamaya mas maririnig pa namin yan from that trip of yours. But, sorry, kanina naisip ko lang bigla. Roro, when you say Roro, yung parang supercat ba yan? Or yung
Yes.
parang, okay. Kasi minsan, di ba, pag sinabing Roro, yung iba na may misinterpret na yung parang bangka. Hindi, Roro, as in malaking supercat. Tama ba?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Di ba parang ang ang Roro, di ba
Go.
parang roll on,
Roll
roll
on, roll
off
off.
yun.
Yes.
Parang
Yung
boat.
pwedeng isakay yung buses in sasakyan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool! Okay, meron tayong, ako ngayon ko lang nalaman yun. So, hindi ko alam kung talagang alam na to ng mga viewers at sinasabi na lang, ano ba yan, Aya? Hindi mo alam. Thank you, Cholo. Sige, dahil Cholo, ikaw ang sunod. Ano yung nag-brought out ng wanderlust in you?
Actually, kasi yung family namin talaga ever since nagta-travel na eh. Because of my dad's job na naging regional sales kasi siya for multiple companies. So from Manila, lumipad kami ng Iloilo, ng Bacolod, ng Davao, ng Cebu. So doon siguro siya nagsimula hanggang sa tuloy-tuloy na lang na parang pati ako, naging escape ko na siya, kumbaga na I really want to, let's say, if I want to take a break, take a breather, I just drive to somewhere or I book a flight with the cheapest flights I could find. And then, yun na yun, naging part na siya talaga ng buhay ko na hindi ko na matanggal.
Parang na-attract ako doon nung sinabi mo na when I find the cheapest flights, parang mamaya kukuha pa ako sa'yo ng tips kung paano yan.
Marami akong tips.
Alright, mamaya. Okay, sa mga nanonood, kapit lang kayo mamaya yung mga tips namin. Miss Tin, how about you? What brought out the wanderlust in you?
Yes, gusto ko yung term na wanderlust, no? For me, aside from all of the things that everyone's mentioned, talagang siya, yung need ko for creativity. Kasi now, you'll realize na parang working from home is so draining, diba? And parang you just wake up in one space. So for me, yung naging escape ko is going to cafes. So in a sense, para akong may little travel from urban cities, within the urban cities. And syempre yung mga workation. So yun, it's really a source of inspiration for me na yung small things na parang different lang yung view mo, different yung nakakasalamuha mo, different yung pagkain, yung language. So, yun, na parang it really is helping me in terms of like both mentally and yun din, parang productively nakakatulong siya.
Thank you. Ang ganda ng it increases your creativity.
Yeah.
That's so true. How about you, Vinny?
Well, sa akin, I started my love for traveling because of my sister. She's also a flight attendant back then. So, perks, marami kang ganyan eh. So,
yeah.
I started traveling domestic and internationally, and you know, it opened my eyes that God is so good, that malaki yung mundo. And so sabi ko, growing up, when I reached that age na gusto ko magtrabaho, I also want to become a flight attendant, fly free, and then, you know, working and with good salary, pero at the same time exploring the world. Kasi hindi mo na mababalik yung kabataan mo, di ba? So travel now hanggang malakas ka pa, and then, yeah, enjoy and have fun.
Alright. Okay, wait lang. My bad. Like a 2015 Miss Universe moment. I was not able to introduce our last guest. Ang napakagwapo na events host, SEA Games 2019 host, and he is also a theater actor. We have ang napakamaginoo at makisig na Mr. Marvin Tamandao.
Thank you so much for that generous introduction, Aya. Hello, everybody.
Hello? Okay. Hindi, sinadya talaga yun. Kasi ganun talaga, di ba, sa Miss Universe, tinatago yung mga candidates pa isa-isa, ganun. So, special ka kasi. Anyway, that's my bad. Marvin,
No,
how
all good.
are you? Yeah, how
I'm
are
all
you?
good. Thank you. And I hope all of you are doing great. This pandemic, it has been challenging the past few months, but I hope you're all hanging on really well.
Are you in Manila right now?
I am in Manila right now,
All right.
like most of you.
So dahil dyan, what brought out the wanderlust in you? Candidate
Well,
number 6.
Thank you so much for that wonderful question. Well, I got to travel extensively when I went out of the Philippines to work in Singapore as a singer-dancer for Universal Studios Singapore. But my love, my passion for road trips and sceneries and going out started when I was a reporter for GMA News. Ang layo, no?
No, I mean, it's still broadcasting. It's still performance.
It is.
Pa rin naman, diba? Oh. Wow.
So literally, it allowed me to travel the whole country, mula Apari hanggang Hulo. And nakita ko kung gaano kaganda yung mga isla natin. And nothing compares to our islands.
Wow. Mamaya, okay lang ba makahingi kami ng sample dyan? Kasi usually pag may mga songer kami na legit pinapasample namin eh. Ayan. I think the tama means yes. Pero ngayon wag muna kasi late nga kitang na-introduce. So mamaya pa, magpapa-build up muna ako. Anyway, I'm very curious guys kasi we've introduced your work and we all know now that you are very busy. So if travel was one of your priorities in the past, how did you make room for your travels before? Like in terms of budget and schedule, how were you able to prioritize traveling? Let's start with Serica.
Well, for me, kasi it's a bit different since traveling for me entailed a lot of work as well. I had to shoot for a travel show. So maraming work involved at hindi ako I guess hindi ko masyado na-experience siguro yung just being present in the moment because there's also like a lot of things going on. But at the times when I get to travel with my friends and my family, a lot of the times I observe now we always look at like the food first, and then and then of course like the activities. Not for me, especially these days that it's very important for us to keep ourselves safe and healthy. Even food for me comes first, and now that I'm able to have the chance to examine my relationship with food throughout the lockdown, parang pagpasok ko sa restaurant these days, pagtingin ko sa menu, in-examine ko isa-isa yung mga ingredients, kung wala doon, ko yung waiter. So feeling ko the Serica now at the new normal would be more keen towards looking at that kind of culinary experience.
And It's so valid kasi 'di ba they say, I don't know if you guys agree to me, yung culture ng isang lugar, yung kultura ng isang lugar, makikita mo 'yan sa pagkain, kung paano hinanda yung pagkain, ano yung ingredients niya, sino yung nag-prepare din. And also, ang ganda nung sinabi mo na you focus on the activities kasi at the end of the day, it's also quality time with your loved ones. Thank you. How about you, Glenn? Paano nyo nasisingit sa schedule nyo yung traveling and in terms ba of budget, schedule, how do you prioritize traveling?
Well, basically before I work from home, so I do freelance jobs. So nadadala ko siya whenever I go, wherever I go, nadadala ko yung trabaho. So what I did before was usually I go out like late in the afternoon and then come back at night. Tapos hindi kasi ako mahilig din sa night out. So I usually work during the night and then start the day in the morning roaming around the city where I'm in or going to attractions. So ganun yung ginagawa ko. But last year, I quit everything. I quit my online jobs and then I focus on blogging. So I'm a full-time blogger now. So yeah.
Congratulations.
Medyo mahirap na madali, but it's a combination of really how do you call it? You have to be more in terms of content. Mas ano na ngayon, mas parang you need to have daily content or at least weekly content, unlike before na it's just on the side. So okay lang na you travel and not do anything. Now when you travel, you have to really produce a content para you get to earn, and travel again. Ganon.
Pero ang maganda dyan, happy ka, happy rin kami na content viewers mo and content readers mo. Thank you. How about you, Tin? Lalo ka na kasi hindi naman sa di ba ikaw talagang parang office but sa coffee places ka. How do you insert your travel aside from yung coffee places mo?
Yes, very good question. It's really schedule. Especially when I'm traveling with other people, parang I really try to be considerate. And it's not just like, kasi some of us, parang syempre, aminin natin, hindi talaga mawawala yung work. Like even if we're not in our day job, parang may something else tayong ginagawa. Alam natin yan, millennials, maraming racket. So, ayun, if walang actual work, hopefully I get to travel kapag yung walang big deadline, yung my mind is clear na hindi ako anxious about, oh my gosh, nandito ako sa jungle log jam pero meron akong deadline na hindi ko pa tapos. Parang I don't wanna be like that naman. So gusto ko when I travel, all of my deadlines, my work is at least nakalatag na siya. So, and of course, hopefully there are interesting coffee places in the area. I agree with Serica, like if for her, she looks at the ingredients. For me, I look at if there's good coffee. So, hindi lang yung Starbucks, no? Yung talagang third wave. Kasi I really feel like these small businesses is like a gateway to their culture. And it's really nice to know na there's a cafe na yung may-ari talaga yung nagsuserve ng coffee for you. Parang, for me, it's really personal. So, I look out for those as well.
At isa pa, mas nagiging closer ka to your roots upon knowing the different and diverse culture of the country. Mm-hmm. So, ang ganda. Thank you. Mamaya aalamin pa natin yan kung ano yung mga criteria ni Tin sa mga coffee places. At take note ko rin yan. How about you, Marvin? Paano mo nasisingit sa busy schedule mo yung traveling before?
So, when I was a reporter, ang pag-reporter ka kasi, you're always on the road. So, laging matagal ng oras ng coverage mo, lalo na pagpaprobinsya. Nasa sasakyan ka. So, yung sceneries talaga, babad ka dyan. But if I were as conscious for travel noon, like ngayon, siguro lahat ng leave credits ko, lahat ng magsisave talaga ako ng money, magsiset aside ako ng savings for travel because ngayon, that I have more time for myself, that I have more time in my hands. Nakita ko how important travel is because you get to meet a lot of people, you get to know a lot of cultures, you get to have a taste of these amazing food all over the world and all over the country. And it tells you a lot about the people that you meet as well.
True. And although sinasabi nila na parang if your job doesn't feel like a job, parang tama ba? May ganong quote na you feel like not working. For me, I still believe na there is work beyond, there is life beyond work.
Uh-huh.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Kasi, di ba, ang sinasabi nila, you don't need a vacation if you have the right job. But for me, traveling is, yun nga, like what you said, enriching your mind, your everything, your well-being. So,
It is.
Diba?
It is. And also, it prevents burnout. Yun ang number one sa jobs natin. Kahit pa yung mga sinasabi natin na time na maraming work na maraming time in our hands, may burnout pa rin. And travel helps us prevent that from happening.
Thank you. And also you learn, that's the most important thing. So makakadagdag yan and for sure magiging value adding pa rin yan sa work nyo. So how about you, Vinny? Paano mo nasisingit sa'yo yung traveling na apart from mga flights?
Well, traveling is my job. So, yun lang yung difference. Well, when you say kasi, like, when I travel, we usually stay sa hotels namin, usually 2 to 3 days, ganyan. So, sa time na yun, you have the time na makalibot sa different places. So, when I travel and when I go to work, which is, I bring or I save a lot muna kasi it's really expensive. For example, in the States, like sobrang, well, it's cheap, but it's expensive also. So you really have to have something. Ako, actually, meron akong 52-week challenge all the time. Like I have 42-week challenge. So every time I travel or I go abroad, ganyan, that's the savings that I'm gonna be using para hindi siya mabigat for me. So yun yung mga preparations ko when I travel. So right now, every time I travel as well, I check on yung mga spots na mga movies, ganyan. For example, in New York, like I go to Serendipity, ganyan, like the feels. So yun yung mga pinupuntahan ko lagi kasi you can never bring back the memories. So there.
O nga, no? Uy, na dito sinut yung ganito, ganyan. O nga, no? Magandang yan. Lalo na, ano tawag dito, lalo na nung nauso na yung K-drama, di ba?
Yes! Myeongdong, ganyan.
O, pero how about naman sa local? Like, nakaka-travel ka pa rin ba locally?
After graduating from college, I'm a researcher by profession. So, na-travel ko rin yung ilan sa mga places dito sa Philippines. And I'm just like kanina may nag-mention na hindi mapapantayan yung ganda ng Pilipinas. So, I agree to that. I've traveled different countries, humility aside. And yung beach talaga natin, yung formation ng mga rocks, ibang-iba. So, Pilipinas muna tayo. And I must say talaga na dapat tayo yung unang-unang makakita ng ganda ng Pilipinas. Kasi sobrang ganda siya and sobrang yaman siya. So, yeah.
Ikaw talaga yung makakapagpatunay. It's more fun in the Philippines.
Yes,
kasi nanggaling ka na sa iba't ibang bansa
Yes,
How about you, Cholo? Paano mo nasisingit sa hosting gigs mo yung traveling?
Naiinggit ako sa kanila kasi naririnig ko pa lang na namimix nila yung trabaho at yung travel. Parang sana all, alam mo yan. Pero kasi hindi. Ako kasi yung hosting ko is mostly in studios or kasi TV and then also nung nagra-radyo pa ako, booth lang. So, hindi ko masyado namimix yung hosting and traveling. Sobrang rare. Kung merong client, edi go. Pero mostly talaga in Metro Manila. So for me, dahil hindi ako masyado naka-travel for work, non-negotiable ang travel. They work around my travel schedule. So sabi ko nga kanina, pag merong mga hindi man libre, asa naman may libre. Pero kung merong mga discounted, yung mga cheap flights, ganyan, inaano ko na, talagang ginagrab ko na lahat na pwede kong kunin na pasok sa budget. Tapos, sasabihin ko, bahala na lahat ng work. Work around yan. So, kung kailangan kong mag-cancel, magka-cancel. Kung kailangan magpahinga, magpapahinga. Kahit may kaltas, okay lang. Mas importante makapag-travel. Kasi yun nga, for mental health talaga eh.
True, I was
Can
about to
can I just
mention.
add, Aya?
Go.
Isa sa mga ganyan, like kay Cholo, no? Isa sa mga ganyang attitudes is sa mga Australians. Did you know that Australians, wow, talagang trivia. Pero talaga, yung mga Australians, they leave everything behind and they travel. It's a must. Parang magtatrabaho sila for like 6 months. And then yung 2 months na yon magbabakasyon sila. And Australians, they really like Philippines. Yes, ganun sila. Especially the millennials, like us. Kasi they said that travel is much expensive kesa doon sa sweldo nila. So, yeah, just a
That's
trivia.
good.
Yes.
Absorb din natin yan, pero ano naman, Philippinized, di ba? Dito,
Yes.
local
Dito
travel.
muna tayo.
That's
Pilipinas
nice.
muna.
At saka, Cholo, alam mo, parang ikaw yung first time kong narinig na ganyan. Parang ang gandang gawin yan.
Actually,
Parang
kasi
may...
talaga, totoo yung burnout na sinabi ni
Mm.
Marvin. Totoo yun. As in, hindi, actually kasi, naniniwala ako na kahit sinabi niya kanina ni Marvin na kahit passion jobs can be a burnout. You can actually burn out from doing something that you love. So, if you don't give yourself time to just do what you love and that alone, hindi mo ma-enjoy yung buhay mo yun. So I really believe na if you even travel for work, you have to put work aside pa rin and travel for the sake of traveling.
True.
Great.
Ngayon pa lang, parang ako, I'm very much inspired by you guys, honestly. And sa mga viewers natin, parang meron ding principles on your perspective on traveling. For others, it's leisure, it's purely leisure. But here, we've heard na it's also part of your well-being. Kayo naman, kung ikayo nagiging travel inspiration kayo ng viewers natin ngayon and including me, kayo naman, how do you find out about your travel inspos? So, inspiration ng travel inspirations namin. So, ano yung travel, paano kayo nakahanap ng travel inspos? Like, with social media, word of mouth, and proliferation of travel content on social media, gaya ng blogs, vlogs, IG. It's easy to find out information about the best places to eat, the best local neighborhoods to stay in. So, how do you find your travel inspos? Let's start with you, Marvin.
Ako, ang swerte natin ngayon because we live at a time when social media is very much in use. So lahat ng tao nagpo-post about what they do, where they go, what they eat. And so ang daling makakita ng travel inspiration na parang, oh, ang sarap yan, gusto kong pumunta dyan. Oh, ang ganda niyang beach na yan, gusto kong pumunta yan. And ako, hindi ako maplano na tao. And very, sorry, very uto-uto akong tao. Pag nakita ko, lalo na beach, pag nakita ko, ang ganda ng beach na yan, pupuntahan natin yan. Ganun bilis.
Okay lang yan. Kung totoo naman, di ba? Worth it yung pag-uuto sa'yo. Ay, worth it yung nauto ka. How about you, Serica? How do you find your travel inspos?
So, syempre lahat tayo millennials, so no stranger tayo sa Instagram, right? And yung difference na napansin ko sa sarili ko back then sa ngayon is gustong-gusto ko dati yung mga picture perfect post na Instagram, and then gusto ko yung tipong I look perfect for the shot and all. But these days, I find myself leaning towards yung mga raw vlogs. That's why siguro naging super successful ng TikTok and yung mga stories, Instagram stories, kasi you see all these places in raw format na walang edit as it is. I think for me, mas ma-appeal siya. And I think that offers something new to our times now. Kasi medyo parang in a way saturated na rin, picture perfect everything, right? So yun. So aside from Instagram, for me it's a lot of YouTube and online articles, yes, but for me YouTube and word of mouth. My friends
That's nice. Siguro for our viewers right here na watching, there's nothing wrong naman with being, mga Instagrammable post or picture perfect. Siguro, wag lang natin kakalimutan yung balance. Gaya nung na-mention ni Serica na yung being raw. Kasi, live life. Anyway, how about you, Cholo? Saan ka nakahanap ng mga travel inspos mo? Bilang yun ang pinaprioritize mo talaga.
Actually, hindi ako mahilig mag-check ng Instagram ng iba when it comes to traveling. Hindi ako doon kumuha ng inspiration. It's more of tama, word of mouth. kung may masuggest ganyan after a conversation or something. Pero mostly talaga, ang pinaka number one priority ko when I choose is kumura. Yun talaga. Chippy pie kasi talaga ako. Gusto ko talaga, nakakatipid ako. So, titingin kagad ako sa website ng flights. Ganyan, titingnan ko, ano yung naka-sale ngayon? Ay, yung piso fare. Ano yung 100 peso fare? Tapos tsaka ko siya titingnan. Tapos pag kunyari, nakabili na ako ng ticket, tsaka ko i-figure out kung anong gagawin ko doon. So, not necessarily kailangan alam ko yung lugar or na-research ko na siya. Kung ano yung mura, bibilin ko na, tapos tsaka ko na lang po problemahin kung anong gagawin ko doon.
Hey, nice. Ang cool. Okay, I see a lot of our other guests nodding while Cholo was saying. So ako rin, parang dami ko pang gustong itanong at kailangan ko i-catch ang aking breath. Pero for now, guys, we will go on a short break. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Make sure to like our Facebook page at Gpstv Official PH and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Always have the premise to #Go Safe, Go Travel. We will be right back.
Protocol before you enter into this establishment here in Balay-Taco. They're gonna ask you to take a photo of this one, and the browser that links to this page immediately pops up on your phone, and you're just gonna have to fill out a form that certifies that you're COVID-free. Once you're done submitting the form, it actually pops up into their system, and they immediately know what your name is. Diba, kuya? Mabuhay! Welcome back! You're still here with us at Gpstv. Noong mga nakaraang episodes, we have invited mga regional directors from NCR, Region 7, and Region 1. We talked about staycation, traveling with the family, mga outdoor activities in nature, yung mga adventures, ganyan, at ang Calabarzon. Today, we are with young group of online travel buddies na sina Tin, Vinny, Serica, Chola, Marvin, and Glenn, who are travel enthusiasts in one way or another. Pwedeng trabaho nila yon or sinisingit sa trabaho, di ba? Narinig na natin yung mga kwentuhan kanina. And now, pipigain pa natin yan, yung mga pwede pa nating marinig sa kanila ng mga tips. So ngayon, guys, tatanong ko sa inyo, how can you make a trip more authentic
and interesting? Coming from Serica's sharing kanina, who do you usually go to when traveling? Yung mga barkada tips, ganyan. So, or mga for solo trips, ganyan. So, na-mention kay solo trip, tatanungin ko na si Glenn muna.
To make travel interesting, first, yun talaga, I think very important for me yung social media kasi that's where I usually check places to go, where to go. Pero sa akin talaga, ang pinaka-ano ko is more on cuisines. That's the part where I really decide on where to go based on cuisines and coffee. That's why, like Tin, I also really like local coffee kasi I think we have really good coffee here in the Philippines. Only hindi lang siya masyadong popular as other coffee in the world. Pero at least we have now medyo okay na yung ano natin. Kulang lang tayo ng konti sa promotion, but I think coffee is doing well here in the Philippines. So that's where I go to places na masarap ang kape, one, and there are interesting cuisines. For example, I also don't just rely on social media. I go to local nagtatanong ako sa mga locals kasi I really want to experience kung ano yung na-experience ng locals. Like for example, when you go to Dumaguete, kung titingnan mo online or social media, mostly yung mga ano lang, mga Sans Rival, mga ganun yung makikita mong food to try. But if you ask the locals, they go to the public market, and I went there in the morning, like 6 a.m. Nandun lahat ng mga locals enjoying their chocolate and enjoying their suman. So it's a really good experience to also ask the local where they go, and that's where I usually go.
Parang yun na rin yung paano magiging authentic paano magiging totoo, yung hindi ka turista sa sarili mong bayan.
Yeah.
Charot lang. Pero di ba, totoo, parang putting the cheesiness aside, ang ganda, nakakaingit. How about you, Tin? Paano mo nagiging totoo, authentic, or interesting yung mga trips mo?
Yun. I agree with parang it's really important to, yun nga, as I've said, to really cherish yung mga local natin, establishments. So, yun, I always do a lot of that. Parang, di ba, meron kanya, pupunta kang, let's say, a falls na destination. Tapos, di ba, may mga sari-sari store doon. I always look at those stores, yung mga nagbebenta lang sila ng crafts nila, ng goods nila. So, I really try to support and purchase those. And also, there's this one thing that I try to do with every trip I go to. So, aside from going to offices, I actually like biking kasi. So, I try to bike around the place that I go to. And that experience, I try to replicate with all the destinations I go to. So, parang it's really different. Kasi walking is fun, but it's kind of slow, diba? So, if you're on a bike kasi parang you get a more bigger view of the city and mafe-feel mo yung vibe, and literally syempre exercise din siya. So yun, I think it's really authentic na you do one activity na gagawin mo for all of your destinations, tas yun yung memory mo of it. So yun.
Gagawin ko yan. Ano yun? Foldable bike yung gamit mo or mountain bike?
I have a folding bike, but it's better than if I research kung merong rentable bike. Kasi syempre mahirap din minsan dalhin yung bikes, diba? Lalo na if you commute or yun nga, magro-roro, parang medyo effort. But, yun. So, kung pwede mag-rent, why not, diba?
Shucks, gagawin ko yan.
Very fun,
Thank you, Tin.
Yes.
Oo nga Thank you, Tin. Ikaw naman, Vinny, how do you make your travels authentic, interesting, or soul-searching ka rin ba? Mga ganon.
Well, for me, important factor sa akin na hindi crowded yung isang place. I have to check yung mga places. Kasi ang travel for me, ano yan soul searching yan for me like looking into the future. So parang every time I go to a place, I really have to make sure that it's not crowded. So ayun yung main factor for me. And also, agree ako sa sinabi ni Cholo kanina na affordable. So dito sa Pilipinas, there are a lot talaga of beaches, destinations na hindi pa napapasok ng maraming tao. So if I were you, actually I can see it a lot from Facebook yung mga blogger, ganyan. Sila yung isa sa mga, for me, very authentic din na I get an idea from na to travel those places. So yun yung important sa akin na hindi populated.
Totoo yan. So, dahil na-mention mo yung mga lugar dito sa Pilipinas na walang ibang lugar na matutumbasan yung kagandahan natin. I'll ask Serica. She's been nodding kanina. Although kita sa live screen natin si Vinny, she's been nodding kanina pa. Serica, what's your favorite local destination here sa Pilipinas? And if given the chance to go travel again, where do you want to wake up to next?
Well, I've been to El Nido maybe 3, 4 times over the last 2 years, so I guess it's so secret na favorite ko siya. Pero given the chance, I would like to visit Tikihor because I have never been there and I heard so many good things about it. So, yun. And I just wanted to share, yung sinabi ni Glenn about like food and all. I just wanted to share something that I learned from a friend who's a well-traveled person. Sabi niya, the best way to get to know a city's heart is through its market. Yung talagang kung saan nagaganap yung exchange ng mga goods na talagang galing sa dagat, galing sa ano. That's really the best place to.
Ganda, ang ganda nun. I'll definitely, I get to do that personally. Ewan ko sa inyong mga viewers. I get to do that, nagagawa ko naman yun. Pero hindi lang consciously. Like, kaya ako pupunta sa palengke kasi kailangan talaga namin kumain yung barkada ko, ganyan. Pero ngayon, gagawin ko siya more intentionally. Sige, noted. Thank you, Serica. How about you, Marvin? Ano yung favorite local destination mo? And if given a chance to travel again, saan mo gustong gumising next to?
Alam mo, isa sa mga hindi napupuntahan ng mga Pilipino na maswerte ko napuntahan, the Santa Cruz Twin Islands in Zamboanga.
Ano na? Where?
Santa Cruz Twin Islands in Zamboanga. Pink Sand Beach. Tapos ang lamig ng waters, sobrang ganda. Tapos walang tao dun sa isla. Kasi medyo, it's about 45 minutes to an hour of a boat ride from Zamboanga City. So medyo malayo lang pero sobrang ganda talaga. You guys have to go. I want to go there again.
Kanina nga minimension ni Vinny yung beaches. Sa previous episodes kasi, na-plug ko na yung Pink Beach. Kaya sabi ko, hindi ko na i-mention yung Pink Beach. Pero since na-mention mo, it's in my bucket list too. Pink Beach in Zamboanga, guys. Agree. Same.
But you know what? Any beach in the Philippines, I have been to some of the most famous beaches in the world, in Rio, in Miami, in LA, even Bondi Beach in Sydney. I've been to all these places and alam mo, wala sa kalingkingan ng beaches ng Philippines.
Exactly.
Yung mga beaches na yun. I always tell the foreigners, not to downgrade your beaches, your love for your beaches, pero you have to go to the Philippines kasi wala to.
Oo, ito nga, we live where you go vacation to. Ganun. Di ba? Ang angas natin eh. Ikaw naman, Cholo. Ano yung favorite local destination mo and where do you want to wake up to next aside from your girlfriend?
Siyempre, ako, ibibida ko na dun yung probinsya namin, Iloilo. Talaga, napakaganda sa Iloilo, promise. Kasi you have the mix of the beach and also yung urban, kasi urbanized na rin ang Iloilo eh. So, yun talaga, as in super love ko. Ang sarap ng pagkain din doon. Yun, so kung may plano kayo pumunta ng Iloilo, di ba? DM nyo lang ako. Tapos, siguro where do I wanna wake up to? Ngayon talaga, gusto ko sa lake. Somewhere, a lake. Pandin Lake, ganon. Gusto ko magising sa gitna ng raft, ganyan. Pagkagising ko, sa gitna ako ng ilog, gusto ko ng ganon. Or anywhere na may falls. Kasi for some people kasi parang therapeutic sa kanila yung beach wave sounds. Pero for me, yung bagsak ng tubig sa waterfalls, man.
Teka, Cholo, ika-clarify ko gumising sa raft. Teka, iklaro mo.
Yung rocking sa gitna ng river. Yung may pagkagising mo, nasan ako? Nasa gitna ng lake.
Hindi raft. Kasi di ba yung raft yung...
Hindi, ibang raft naman ata yun. Wild raft pala. Pagkagising mo, pababa ka na pala.
Cholo, nakakadto na ako sa Iloilo 2 beses. Sobrang ganda. Nakakadto na ako sa Miagao.
I-text mo ko. Miagao?
Nakakadto na ako sa Miagao.
Nag-eskwela.
Talaga. Gintudloan ako sa kaklase ko sa UP ng Ilonggo. So, Kabalo ko pero gamay lang.
Okay.
Oh guys, thank you sa pagsama sa talk show namin ha.
Hindi, tama ba,
Nag-uusap
Marvin,
na.
yung sinabi mo, hindi ka talaga taga Iloilo, pero yung kaklase mo sa UP,
Dinaruan ako ng...
Yun.
Tapos
Hindi.
dinala niya
Doon
ako
naman ako
twice.
nag-aral.
Sobrang ganda, sobrang sarap ng mga pagkain. Yung mangga nila sobrang tamis. Oh, wow.
Cholo, dahil na-mention mo yung pag taga Iloilo mo, share us more about Hubog na. Diba?
Oh, yeah. So Ubog is actually my business. It was inspired, well actually, hindi siya inspired by the drinks in Iloilo, but it's more of the experience. Kasi doon ako namulat sa pag-inom ng alak. Ayan. So, kaya doon ko na in-inspire din yung packaging ko. Especially yung roots ko rin naman is by Ilonggo blood din naman ako. So, kumbaga parang dinala ko na lang siya dito. So, Hubog is an alcohol, like an online alcohol business that I have. And then the names of it are parang mga joke terms mga ng Ilonggo. So we have like sabad. Sabad kasi is makulit, ganon. Tapos bigaon is flirtatious. Awat na yung medyo makulit, ganon. So yung hangag is medyo parang tanga-tanga, ganon. So,
talaga?
alam mo,
Hangad?
oo, yun yung mga hangag.
Hangag.
Oo, so yun yung mga, kasi inisip ko when I was thinking of names for the drinks, I wanted something that was funny. Na, kumbaga, ano ba yung mga binabato namin magbabarkada pag nag-iinuman kami? Yun yung mga batuan namin, di ba? Kung sa atin, sira, yung mga ganon, di ba? Sa amin, ganon yung term. So yun yung ginamit ko for the names of my drinks.
Marvin, natatawa ka dun sa mga salitang yun Alin dun yung mga naiintindihan mo?
Yung kaklase ko kasi meron siyang pamangkin na maliit. Lagi siyang sinasabihan ng lola niya na sabad-sabad ka, ganyan. So makulit siya.
Yeah. Ako sa mom ko naman, araw-araw, sabad ka, Cholo. Ganon.
Ayan, marami na tayo natutunan dito sa mga hindi taga Iloilo dito. Sabad, yun na yung naalala kong mga salita. Thank you. Salamat, Cholo and Marvin. And ngayon naman, tatanungin ko kayo na now na meron tayong restricted movement sa traveling, ano yung mga alternative activities na ginagawa nyo to keep yourself busy? Yan, mention tayo dun ng mga hobbies. Dahil October din ay Mental Health Awareness Month. Or sa work nyo ba, ano yung mga alternative activities nyo? Sige, let's go with Glenn muna.
After nung bago pa lang yung quarantine, usually lang ako online streaming, Netflix and other stuff. Pero when I realized na this is not going to end soon pa nung mga later part, so I started doing an e-commerce site. So as I said earlier, I really like coffee. So I wanted to have coffee from different parts of the Philippines. What I did was I started a coffee business. I actually ordered coffee from different parts of the Philippines and sell it nationwide. So, kasi hindi ko napupuntahan yung mga lugar na gustong puntahan because of coffee. So, what I did was to bring coffee to me and share it to other people who likes coffee too. So, yung ano ko naman, the difference lang, kasi marami ding nagbebentang ganun ng coffee right now. So, the difference lang ng what I do is I really make sure na traceable yung coffee na binibenta ko at binibili ko direct from the farmer to help them also. Kasi di ba, we want our farmers to get what they deserve. So as much as possible, traceable para alam mo kung saan ang galing yung coffee and original talaga na dun yun ang galing yung coffee. So that's what
Buti na banggit mo kasi tatanungin ko na nga sana yung free trade, di ba? Parang paano natin dapat siguraduhin din natin as consumers na yung binibili natin ay hindi lang masarap. Dapat masarap din yung kinita ng mga naghirap dun sa binibili natin. Sana plug mo na, full force plug mo na sa namin makikita yung coffee business mo, Glenn.
It's called juancoffee.com. So you can just go to the website and yeah, we do deliver anywhere in the Philippines as long as my courier. Yeah.
Uy, nice. Okay.
But we actually the website is focusing on Mindanao coffee kasi nga taga Mindanao ako and I really want Mindanao coffee to be as popular as the other coffee. Like for now, if you mention coffee in the Philippines, mostly Sagada, Benguet, the Cordillera coffee. But we also have good coffee here in Mindanao, in Bukidnon, Davao, South Cotabato and Sultan Kudarat. So those are places na they have really good coffee, Arabica and Robusta. So I really want that then to promote yung Mindanao coffee as my advocacy then as, you know, an influencer, as a content creator.
Kinikilig ako. Oo. We will definitely check that out, Glenn. Thank you. How about ikaw, Tin? Ano yung mga alternative mong mga ginagawa nitong quarantine?
So, segue to Glenn, noted with thanks, kasi pahingi naman kami yan. It's so nice because actually you're right. Puro Benguet and Batangas coffee, like that's what's popular here. So we're definitely interested parang to get to know more coffee. So segue to that. Meron akong bagong hobby, which is to buy from SMEs. So literally ang dami kong mga, hindi man literally, but like every week I try to parang buy from our bakers and mga quarantine baking, quarantine cooking na naging business nila, also to support them. So parang, ayun, I try. So basically, kumakain lang ako. And umiinom ako ng kape.
Bakit?
Oo nga, bakit? At least nakaka-support ako. But of course, aside from that, I also try to parang, I've been practicing to do pour over coffee. It's so hard. Well, hindi pala siya hard. Parang, it just looks hard kasi syempre parang maraming may timing, tas pati pala yung weight ng coffee, kailangan mo itansya, tas kailangan yung pag-pour mo ng, basta yung style, it's so elegant, but also so classy, and and so yun yung nag-heal sa mind ko right now. Every morning, so I do that, I do pour over coffee, or basta like the process of creating my own coffee. And syempre, ayun, I mentioned kanina cycling, so I've been biking around the city, kahit just for errands or just like going around, parang gusto ko lang umikot, ganon. So I know parang there's the infrastructure of the roads is kind of mahirap for bikers, pero ever since the quarantine, in fairness, nag-improve naman yung bike lanes natin. So what I love about biking kasi is that wala kang ibang iisipin, yung bike lang talaga. Kasi you're like on survival mode in a sense, kasi syempre iniisip mo kung like, oh my gosh, maghulog ba ako or not. But also like you're feeling the vibe of the city, of the road, of everything. So that's what I love about it, kasi parang it just clears my head. So ayun, if I have time sa weekend, I bike around cafes. I go to cafes and I bike there. So yun, at least parang travel din siya, no, like literally.
Since na-mention mo, ano yung ma-advise mo magandang bike? Mountain bike ba? Or Japanese bike? Or foldable bike?
Oh my gosh. Well, I have a foldable bike because I maliit kasi yung space ko. But right now, parang maganda talaga magkaroon ng either gravel bike, which is parang a road bike, but also yung gulong niya kaya ma-withstand yung uneven roads natin.
Lubak-lubak.
Yes. Pero I think most of us get mountain bikes kasi nga mas mas kaya niya yung paano ba to? Yun nga, yung lubak-lubak siya ng uneven roads. So either mountain bike or road bike. It's really best na if you buy a bike. Bigla ka nag-ganon about a bike na. It's best na you really invest on a bike na fits sa'yo and you think na will take you to places that you're comfortable with. Kasi syempre, parang din siya, automobile din siya in a sense. So, you need to invest it kasi kailangan safe ka talaga.
Yeah. Sige, noted namin yan. At ako rin mapapabili na ng bike dahil...
Actually, after nito, parang dami ko nang kailangan bilhin bigla.
Pero, di ba kailangan ng helmet and mask yun, lagi.
Yes.
Alright, sige. O nga guys, hinay lang ha sa paglista. Mamaya, papabilin na talaga kayo ng mga binabanggit namin. But anyway, how about you, Marvin? Ano yung mga alternative activities mo now that we're restricted sa movement?
I wish I'm like her. I'm averse to physical activities. Sobrang tamad ko.
Okay lang.
But during the first months of the quarantine, of the lockdown, I spearheaded 2 donation drives for PPEs, if that counts. So we were able to distribute around 1,000 PPEs to different hospitals. And right now we support businesses of our friends. But one thing that I learned during this lockdown, my very first time, nag-bake ako ng cookies. First time. Natuto ako. First time.
Ang cute!
Nakaka-relax pala mag-ganyan-ganyan ng cookies. And ayun, yun lang. Pero sana maging into biking din ako.
Alam mo, wala naman yan. Kanya-kanyang trip nga, diba? Sabi nila. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Kasi ako, hindi talaga ako maano sa baking. Kaya dahil dyan, nai-inspire ako na, mamaya bibili na akong baking materials.
Uy, mura lang. Parang mura lang.
Hala, talagang, naku, mukhang mapipilitan talaga. Demiro lang. Thank you, Marvin. Ikaw naman, Serica. What kept you busy?
Nakakatuwa yung nakinikilig ako sa lahat ng sinasabi nila. At na-realize ko, I haven't grown this much in such a short amount of time. And that's because of the new things that I learned to discover during this lockdown. And one of them was just keeping track of my mental health. I mean, over the last 10 years, I've been living such a fast-paced life na I never really took the time to sit down with myself and just, sit down with my emotions by silence and all that. So I actually put myself through schooling this lockdown, school on like human transformation and self-growth and all. Kasi totoo talaga yung mental health, guys. It's yung mga issue na yan, it really pops up, especially during these times. But it's been there for so long. So because of that, I started also baking, just like a lot of you guys here. And it's also looking at how, food really affects our mood, which then affects our thoughts, our emotions, our actions. So like another thing na pinagtutuunan ko ng pansin ngayon is how to improve the branding and content of my blog to make it, I feel compelled kasi to share what I'm learning now because it's just so transformative. And I think that a lot of millennials can benefit from having a more holistic approach to like health and wellness. And it's my goal to really bridge the gap between travel and, a holistic wellness. So yun.
Wait lang, i-plug mo na rin yung vlog mo sa ating viewers ngayon.
It's just Erica Rojas, ROJAS on YouTube and on Instagram. Connect with you guys. Love to collab with you guys. Cholo, I did a travel show series in Iloilo last year, and I want to be able to go back kasi doon ko naranasan yung pansit molo and ano yung chocolate. Oh my God, na-addict ako doon. Yung anong tawag doon sa chocolate?
Cacao?
Tableya.
Tableya, galing sa cacao. Oo.
May Tagalog word para, or Ilo word for that eh. Basta I bought a lot.
Sige, I'll try to remember.
Sige.
Sikwati.
Research. Si-search natin. Ay, ano yun? Glenn?
Sikwati?
Sikwati?
We call it sikwati here.
Sa mga viewers ngayon, kung alam nyo, comment down below kung ano nga ba yan. And lastly, Cholo, ikaw, ano yung mga ganapers mo the past days, the past weeks? To keep
Honestly,
you busy.
nung naririnig ko sila, sabi ko sana nga nag-school ako, no? Or sana nag-donation drive din ako. Or sana nag-biking
Never
man lang
too
din
late.
ako. Diba? Di pa natin.
Uy, pero never too late,
Actually, ang ginawa ko, inisip ko nga ngayon, ano bang makabuluhang ginawa ni Cholo de la Cruz sa 7 months na naka-lockdown? Nag-inom. Nag-inom.
Nice.
Dahil sa business. I had to concoct a lot of drinks talaga. Siyempre, and dahil nga, di ba, very inspired nga by my province, so I wanna try also bringing other provinces. Ano ba yung, let's say, sikat sa Guimaras is yung mango. So, baka pwede gumawa ko ng mango-inspired drink. Or yung coffee natin, may coffee tayo. So I made a coffee-inspired drink na mix. So ganon, yun yung mga ginagawa ko. And also, I tried a brand new job. So, di ba, ikaw, Aya, you know me, I've been hosting for 6-7 years now. College pa lang tayo, nag-host na ako. So ngayon, I said, why not try a different route? So now I work for the government.
Wow.
I work for the Council for the Welfare of Children. Di ba? So,
more power, Cholo.
Where pa?
Where pa tayo dyan?
And kanina yung mga tanong ko sa inyo, it's very relatable questions na siguro matatanong ko rin sa mga viewers natin. Pero ngayon, it's a special question for you guys, most especially for you. Let's start with Glenn. How does being a content creator or being exposed to the tourism industry encourage other people to travel or try things? Diba? Nagiging well-informed ba? Updated on the safety and health protocols among other things? Mga ganon.
Yeah, basically, for me kasi yung ano ko talaga, yung content ko is more on writing, more on blogging, and I know ngayon medyo more on the vlogs now, YouTube and other stuff. But I think for me personally, I encourage people for now, kasi there are places na which are reopened for tourism like Ilocos, Boracay, many places na in Davao also there are places here. What I do right now is to promote those places, but encourage really encourage them to really follow the safety protocols that are being set by the government, wearing face masks, keeping social distance, physical and social distancing. I think we cannot. There will come a time talaga na people will really travel. So as much as possible, sabi nga nila, actually, personally din, as much as possible, hindi ako lumalabas na hindi essential. But there are times na we really need to travel. We really need to go out for our mental health for whatever reason, yung stress na sobrang dami nang naipon natin. And if people really want to go, the only thing that they can do is to really follow the protocols. Kasi I think we're gonna be safer if we just follow yung social distancing and wearing face mask and all those stuff. So I think yun lang yung ano, yun yung ano ko ngayon, yun yung ginagawa ko. I help people to know what are the travel requirements in going to places. And again, very important yung strictly follow the protocol set by the government talaga.
True. Thank you. Thank you, Glenn. Oh, guys, kung si Glenn ay sumusunod, wala tayong dahilan para hindi rin sumunod, ha? Biro lang. Pero di ba totoo? Thank you, Glenn. How about you, Vinny? How does being a content creator or being exposed to the tourism industry, lalo na with your job, encourage other people to travel or try things?
Siguro for me, may encourage ko yung mga gustong mag-travel siguro na it's time ngayon to save up para sa right timing nilang pag-travel. I think kasi I just got married last September and supposed to be mag-honeymoon kami, magta-travel kami. However, when I check the guidelines, when I check the requirements, it's a lot and it's expensive, especially yung swab test, no? So and sometimes kailangan pa ng 14 days na quarantine. So I think if people will travel this time, it will be very hard. It will be very complicated. So what I can advise, what I can encourage to the people right now is they have to use their time to save up money, to check out sites where they could check piece of fares, just like Cholo have mentioned kanina. What they have to do is really conserve their energy next year. Baka pwede na tayong lumipad because based sa pag-aaral ng ilang sa mga airline, including my airline, is pwede naman na siyang bumalik 1 to 2 years from now. So I think may better at may perfect timing sa pagta-travel. So pero kung hindi naman maiiwasan na mag-travel, sabi nga po kanina ni Sir Marvin ba yun, to really protect yourself. Kasi even us, we wear PPE. So ayun, that's what I can suggest.
Vinny, you mentioned kanina na you just got married. Was this year or last year?
This year, September 18. Yes, I pushed through with the wedding.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did you pull it off? Like, how did you pull it off?
Well, to be honest, dapat I have a grand wedding sa December where my families will come home and celebrate it with me. But I really have to adjust it earlier kasi wala rin hindi rin magkakatotoo yung dream wedding ko. Kasi bawal nga 25 people up lang. So na pull off ko naman siya and it was intimate. You know what? Masasabi ko lang, no, mas gusto ko yung kasal ko ngayon. It's intimate, it's special, and I understand all the blessings and all the promises together. So, sa mga nagbabalak ikasal dyan, or kung meron man, I think there is beauty in silence, you know, kasi ang ingay na ng mundo eh. So, if you get married this time, siguro mas savor niyo yung time niyo together and the relationship.
Nako, mukhang napapa-oo na rin si Cholo. So, thank you, Vinny, by the way. Cholo, sige, bago mo sagutin yung bukang mapapa-wedding na rin ba? Joke lang.
Kinabahan ako bigla. Baka nanonood kasi mag-expect.
Nako, sige, hindi na kita tatanungin dun sa wedding. Pero ano na lang, yung how does being a content creator or being exposed sa tourism industry na naka-encourage other people to travel or try things?
Alam mo, honestly, because of my business, I've had mga customers who aren't Ilonggo, who aren't Hiligaynon, who don't speak Hiligaynon, na have tried it, and then they ask, ganito ba talaga inumin sa Iloilo? Or ganito ba talaga inumin sa Iloilo? Tapos, syempre, gusto ko na rin ibida. So, may mga ganon. I think one thing that influences them is just seeing something that's inspired by a different place. Parang, ganyan pala, or maganda to, I want to explore more about it. So, ganon. And for me, kasi I think also I use my social media kasi not just to promote myself, but to also show people that, you know, again, yung nga sabi kanina, no, traveling is for the mental health. So, it's really helpful na, you know, for me, then to post my travels online. So, I think people also get ideas on, you know, traveling, and kasi from there, they also ask me, what do I do? Ano bang ginagawa kong planning, magkano ginastos ko. So I think that also influences other people to travel as well.
Naisip ko lang bigla, sa mga viewers natin ngayon na you are creating your own businesses, online businesses, it's very nakakakilig. Walang akong maisip na word, nakakakilig kapag yung products ay incorporated sa isang lugar. So, ang ganda nun. Thank you, Cholo and Glenn, for sharing your...
Add ko lang, no? I think it's also a perfect time now that we're stuck in our houses, no, stuck in where we're living, na to really explore our roots, no, because some people don't even know that they actually have roots in different provinces here in the Philippines, diba? Or they know that they live in Iloilo, but they don't know anything about Iloilo or anything, diba, about the food, about the culture. So it's nice also that, you know, ilang buwan na ba tayo nandito sa bahay natin? Why not take the time to research about it and then find ideas? If you want to open a business, open a business. If you want to plan your next trip there to really immerse yourself in the culture, why not? Diba? Kasi we have all the time in the world now. So might as well just delve into all of that.
And halos 24/7 na tayo nasa social media. Use it na lang din to get to more about your country more. No? Cholo, thank you. Thank you, Cholo. How about you, Serica? How does being a content creator encourage other people to try things or to travel?
You know what? I echo with what everybody said. Sobrang dami talagang substance sa mga answers nila. I would like to add na social media kasi everything is, a lot of the times we tend to be very curated, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a work of art, and you know, it's fun to be creative, but like what you said earlier, it should also be balanced out by, you know, showing your authentic self. And I think those experiences that you have alone, that you can just document and show people without you overthinking it too much, I mean, it really inspires people. And one more thing that I also like to parang just share in case hindi masyadong na-emphasize sa protocols natin. You know, we talk about like social distancing and washing your hands frequently, having those alcohol, but we should also keep in mind that we need to stay hydrated, and like sleep also plays a huge part in our yung health. I know someone who has taken all the stringent steps into monitoring all their activities. Talagang very minimal lang talaga yung paglabas nila ng bahay and all. And considering actually nakatira nga siya sa Rockwall and all, it's parang very gated yung community. But his family was actually contracted the virus and didn't even know where they got it. So I think the key here is to acknowledge that we won't necessarily be able to avoid the exposure it's just gonna be there. It's part of life, it's reality, but the key is to just work from, like, start with yourself, start with your own immune system, your mental health, even your spirituality, even. So yeah, I hope everybody also gets the, look into that. And yeah.
Thank you, Serica. Sa mga nanonood ngayon, sana nakaka-contribute din kami sa well-being and mental health nyo. Sana marami kaming nababanggit na mga concerns, problems, pero sana we also give you hope and sort of yung kampante ba sa kung ano yung meron tayong, ano yung i-expect nyo when you travel outside. Let's go to you, Marvin. How about you? How does being a content creator or being exposed to the tourism industry encourage other people to travel or try things?
Hindi ako masyadong ma-post ng content about my travel. Like I don't do vlogging, and when I started traveling, hindi pa uso yung vlogging. But now, seeing other people's content, I learn about the places na bukas na, ngayong medyo nag-ease out na yung lockdown, and natututunan natin yung mga businesses na pwede na nating i-support. Of course, with strict physical distancing and observance of safety protocols, yun, natututunan natin yung mga business na pwede na nating puntahan. But, and also, just going out there, just yung drive lang, ako, mag-drive lang ng konti sa labas. Kahit hindi ako bumaba sa may sasakyan ko, natutulungan yung mental health ko. So there.
Para maiba lang yung environment, no?
Yes.
Yung
change of scenery.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Let's go to you, Tin. Paano nakatulong sa, to try things out, encourage people to travel, yung pagiging exposed sa yung pagiging coffee hunter mo?
I agree with Sir Marvin. No? Actually, ang funny kasi before the quarantine, parang I get a lot of messages kasi, where's the best coffees in Quezon City or ganyan-ganyan. Asan yun yung mga inquiries? Now, it's like, sa open ba yung cafe na to so I can order from them, or parang open na ba sila for dine-in or at least take out, pick up. So it's really nice that people are also, like everyone in the community are helping each other out. So I think yun yung, I think for everyone, no, parang na-push sila to really support each other. Like ako, even I do that now. Like I support more local content creators now. Like I watch more local YouTube channels, mga ganon. So I think yun din yung na-build dito for us sa quarantine, talagang bayanihan. And also, they ask me a lot, parang, pwede na ba mag-dine-in dito? Or, syempre, what are the health protocols? So, usually, actually, nagiging directory na ako bigla ng mga cafes na to. Parang, pwede pa kibayaran ako. But, parang bigla naging spokesperson. But, yun, it's really, I mean, I do it like out of, because to just really help them na get there. Alam nyo ba, ang daming cafes na nag-close down. Like even the big restaurants, I was so shocked na nag-close sila ng branches. So, ayun, it's fun to go out, but follow the health protocols. So I suggest you either like just go there in your car, pick up the order, or order online and parang recreate the experience at home. Yung mga, okay, parang, I miss the milk tea of this, and like people watching. Recreate that, open your YouTube channel, whatever you find. Tapos mag-uminom ka ng kape and people watching.
Then,
so, yun, we got creative talaga.
Dagdagan pa natin yung mga mag-i-inquire sa'yo. Kaya plug mo na yung social media account mo kung saan ka namin pwedeng mapag-inquirean.
Yun, follow me, Coffees Hunter, so that's COFFICEHUNTER. Sorry, mahaba. Yun, Coffees Hunter. So, right now I'm posting more on the coffee that I get from cafes, and also from like those who have been who pivoted and are trying to sell also local coffee. So, yeah, I hope you also find our coffee brothers and sisters there.
Yes. Thank you, Tin. Napakagandang mag-end sa note ng bayanihan. Lahat tayo dito, kahit anong trabaho mo, to keep us up and running, kailangan talaga lahat coming from different sectors
tulong-tulong tayo. Diyos ko naman, sino pa ba yung magtutulungan? Kundi tayo-tayo lang din naman, di ba? So, I encourage everyone then to take part in that. At lagi kaming nandito para i-remind kayo na to always hashtag
Go,
Go safe, go
go
travel,
travel,
Go
Go
Philippines!
Philippines,
Soar
or
high.
high.
Yeah! Thank you so much! Thank you, Glenn, Serica, Marvin, Cholo, Vinny, and Tin. Thank you. Mabuhay kayong lahat. Support local and andito tayo para magtulungan. Diba? Mula sa pagnood ng mga vlogs hanggang sa pag-purchase ng mga alcoholic beverages dyan ni Cholo, game na game tayo dyan hanggang sa pagkakape ni Glenn, di ba? So, lahat yan. Titignan natin yan. Titikman natin yan. And guys, tama ba? Tama ba? You are with me? You agree na yes, we will support each other. Kung kayo rin, meron kayong mga businesses, don't be shy to comment on the live stream comments below. Diba? Again, thank you so much sa inyo.
Thank you.
Mabuhay kayong
Thank you.
Thank you.
More
Thank you.
power. And of course, sa ating mga viewers, thank you so much to everyone who joined in on our conversation. That was truly value-adding experience, diba? Coming from another perspective, coming from a perspective from our co-millennials. For me talaga, for all of you who are here watching sa Facebook and YouTube, sana talaga na-absorb nyo yan dahil sa pagkatapos ng last episode natin, meron tayong pa-quiz. Oo, tama yan. Biro lang. Thank you also to Hotel Sales and Marketing Association, the Department of Tourism, and the Philippine Tourism Promotions Board. Thank you so much. Sana always keep in mind to have a safe and mindful traveling. Ngayon, marami pa tayong natutunan na tips kung paano maging mindful traveler, di ba? To how to get to know more of the culture, di ba? Pumunta sa palengke, to try out the foods, and many more. You can replay our episode today. Always plan your trips and consider the health situation of your family, your resources, and the location you're going to. Syempre, on top of strict medical protocols yan so that everyone can safely enjoy, di ba? Safely enjoy the travels, including the rest of the people around you. Talagang, gaya nga nung huli nating point of discussion, talagang mapapakita natin ang bayanihan sa pamamagitan ng pagiging mapagmatyag na manlalakbay. Huwag tayo maging turista sa sarili nating bayan. And always remember that for everyone to enjoy a worry-free, diba, mental health, worry-free travel experience, we always have to hashtag go safe, go travel. Until the next flight, this has been your online travel buddy, Aya Fernandez. Watch out for more episodes and see you again only here on Gpstv. Go Philippines, soar high. Mabuhay po sa inyong lahat.